Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 14. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Jim Sweeney. Jim is the creator of Trademarked MIKE cartoon sports character. He carefully crafted his digital innovation to become the first universal animated brand to translate all sports. His invention is Mike to eventually be seen on TV, web, and on mobile products. However, as the sports world ultimately taking ahead, Mike has emerged with incredible start in ebooks. With 33 published Mike sports comic books, he expects to distribute 1 million total Mike ebooks by 2015. Also, he has written dozens of audio monologues and hundreds of blogs through the voice of the Mike character. Hello, Jim.
Yes, I'm Jim, but my creation is Mike. Hi, Patience. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for coming.
I'm very excited to be on your show today.
Okay, I know the clan is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your online ebooks? Take us right up to the last job or business you did before you became the character of writing comics, sports.
For most of my adult life, I sold computer products and consumer electronic products. And I actually had my own business for many years here in Florida. And I would serve as a broker where I would represent different computer companies and different consumer electronic companies selling computer parts, cameras, memory, monitors, hard drives, motherboards, cables, things of that nature. And I did it, fortunately, very successfully for a number of years. And I got to the point after being in the same industry for over 20 years that I felt a tugging on my heart and I wanted to do something different. I had become increasingly frustrated because the big customers that I was selling, they were extremely stringent in how you could deal with them. And I felt like it thwarted my own personal creativity. So I always had inside me the thoughts of creating something that was bold, that was brazen, that was witty, clever, and quite unique. And that's how the character of Mike, who is a talking microphone, he's strictly a talking head. We call him the ultimate talking head on sports. That's how the creation of Mike came to be. And it was because I was successful in a previous business. However, I longed to do something differently that would enable me to exercise my creative spirit. And with my wife's urging, I took the giant leap at a very successful business to jump into the unknown, to do something I had no experience in, and that was bringing a digital creation to life.
Wow. That's a great background, Jim. So help us connect with you. Tell us one thing, or a business or a personal thing that we want to know about you, even if we've been following you for a while now.
I love to cook. I can't say that I'm a 5-star chef, but I love to cook in my own little kitchen here in Florida. I love to experiment with different things. I love seafood. I like different types of vegetable medleys, and I love to experiment with salads. But that is one of my secret passions in life is cooking for myself and for my wife. I'm not good at cooking for a number of people because I just lose focus, I get distracted easily, and I don't present what I cook well. Sometimes my wife and I, we just put the pot right on the kitchen table and we eat right out or scoop things right out of it. So I don't present what I cook well, but I can cook well.
Okay. And, right. Now you said you went into computing from there. You wanted to create your unique talking head. Um, how is that going? How did it that now you've moved from there into comic ebook sports?
Yes, thank you. It's for asking. It's actually going quite well. When I sit here and I'm speaking to you and I'm listening to your question, I'm smiling because I look back and I could see how far we've come, even though we didn't know where we were going. We haven't yet gotten to our final destination because we're utilizing our sports blog, our podcasts, and our ebooks in order to build up a character that eventually we believe we can license to a major corporation to be used in advertising or to a major sports media network to be utilized as an on air character interacting with real live human beings. So I'm still smiling as I'm speaking because I just can't believe that we've come so far with this character, yet we still have so much farther to go. But I'm very happy with our success.
Wow. Okay. People tend to think the sunshine is always shining. Now you are smiling because now you are successful. You got from your character, now you're into comic. You are really on your way up. How do you feel? Did you have any failures before you went into these comics? Oh, it was all just success. Because we would like
No,
to
it
hear
wasn't
all
all
that.
success. I used to have a previous business, and I had other people, that I could rely upon because they had different skills, that I didn't. So we also, had relationships with other companies in which I could learn. I could sit in on presentations, learn new skills, learn how to do things better and more efficiently on the computer. But when you step out on your own and you become a true entrepreneur, especially in a new industry, you have to find ways to keep on learning, especially if you're in the business of digital publishing that changes so quickly and sometimes so dramatically that you always have to put yourself in a position or find areas where you can learn. And that was one of the greatest, not only frustrations, but also one of the greatest feelings of personal accomplishment. We were frustrated. And when I say we, it's my wife is my business partner. We've been married 34 years. This is the third time that we've been in business together. Both of our previous businesses were very successful. We have every expectation that this will exceed the success of our previous businesses and what we're doing now. But my wife and I, we would say, wow, this is so daunting. This is frustrating. It seems like it's going to just overwhelm us. But because we had the two of us and we both encouraged each other, we went to a lot of meetups. We went to conferences. We went to summits. We watched innumerable YouTube how-to videos, and we taught it to ourselves on how to do things on the web, how to do things electronically. So even though it was frustrating and very daunting at first, it was extremely rewarding as we look back and we say, wow, we overcame those challenges. We learned to circumvent those obstacles. And now we have different skill sets. We have a lot more new knowledge, that we've obtained that will only help us and make us stronger, as we continue to develop content for our existing property.
Wow, that's good. Okay, regarding the setback and the or emotions you went through, did you have to tell your friends? Did you tell your family, or you just kept it quiet?
No, we funded everything on our own. Fortunately, in our previous business, we were successful. We saved well, and we knew that we had developed intellectual property, which is just like owning real estate, but on the web. And we wanted to protect it. So we had our Mike's cartoon sports character trademarked, and what my wife is doing, which is different than what I'm doing, and which is developing her own brand. We're in the process of trademarking what she has brought to life. So I think that we were savvy, based on previous business experience, to know how to protect what we were creating. But jumping into the unknown, going from a previously successful, very conservative business into like the wild, wild west of online digital publishing, a lot of our friends thought we were crazy. We thought we had just walked off the deep end and we were going through a midlife crisis. And they didn't quite understand that, sure, we wanted to do something different, but we wanted to create things that had purpose, that we could leave our mark, in society, that we could do things that were uplifting and positive and encouraging and inspiring, and also entertain people like we have with our Mike cartoon sports character.
Wow. Okay. I know Macron would love to hear how you overcome all those obstacles by going to seminars and yes, you had the experience before, but again, you having your wife work on the same project and you live under one roof. I hope you didn't like start resenting each other because of the project when you are going through that. How did
No, we
you
didn't.
manage?
We both could always separate, business from our personal lives, even though, we work out of the home and we live in a 3-story townhome. However, we do work on separate floors because we both constantly interrupt each other and felt that we could not be as productive as we should be if we worked in the same office or on the same floor. But my wife and I were both 57 years old. We met at the university when we were 19 at Boston College.
Wow.
And we've always had would like to think, a very great relationship. We joke and we say we get along great, except when we don't, but that's few and far between. I mean, we have, fortunately, a mature relationship that has been tested, many times over its 38 years, but we have an ability to talk to each other. And I think we both have the same common goals and we both share the same spirit. So, if we don't agree on things, we look to resolve them very quickly.
Okay. All right. You said you expect to distribute 1 million by this year. Have you achieved your goal yet?
No, I have not. But when you mentioned that, I went, oh,
Ah.
I will get there. It just won't be this year.
Okay.
What I still need to do, when you're, in a small online, publishing business, you need to do everything on your own. And my wife and I have created by ourselves every single Mike sports blog, every single Mike sports comic book, and every single Mike on Sports podcast. So that means we very diligently and carefully, craft every monologue for a podcast. We craft everything very carefully in our books and our blogs. And I'm very happy. I'm actually quite happy, ecstatic with the foundation we've built. And I believe we'll eventually either sell, but mostly give away 1 million books. It's just not going to happen in 2015.
But we keep looking. It will happen in 2016.
That would be the revised goal, Patience.
Okay. Where do we find these comic books?
The comic books, everything about Mike, our blogs, our comic books, our podcasts, our comics, individual comics, could be found at themike.com. And that's www.theemike.com. That's TH2ES2ES MIKE.com.
Wow. I saw that you said it can we find it on Amazon?
There are 37 sports comic books that we've published, and there are 25 of them that are available on Amazon. And if you go to the Mike, THEEMIKE, there's a couple buttons on the sidebar with Amazon's logo. All you have to do is click on the Amazon logo and it redirects you to the Amazon site. And then I have a dozen books that I give away for free. And I like to over provide and over deliver value. And I find that when somebody buys one Mike book or downloads a free Mike book, immediately they come back for more because they enjoy reading the stories. Some of the stories are just flat out funny, they're witty and they're clever. and a lot are historical, and they give you a different look at historical things in sports, whether it's the construction of some of the world's greatest, arenas in sports, or some legendary stars, or even some books about what Mike likes. And I always write through the voice of Mike, our character.
Mhm.
And the two most popular selling, I shouldn't say, the two most popular downloaded free books are my 25 things that Mike likes best about sports, and the 25 things that he thinks are worst about sports. And they're funny, they're clever, they come with comics, people enjoy them. It's kind of like the old comic books, or you get with bubble gum. People would buy the comic book for the bubble gum, but they would enjoy the comic books, and they'd read along and learn something new or be entertained.
Wow, we'll certainly check that out. Clan, Jim is going to hang out and share more information about his journey with us. If you can rate where Jim started his travels so far, or if you just want to learn more about Jim, you can listen to the extended version of his journey at onlinesuccessjourney.com. And if you want at the journey, click on part 2 of Jim's journey, and you'll get more tips about comic sports, and you'll be entertained. Okay. We run out. Okay, that's a wrap, clan. Success is always a journey. See you in part 2. Patience and Jim.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com. filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.